Welcome back. Sybil, I think you're on.
Hello. I can't hear. So can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Sybil.
Okay, wonderful. Is this Jane?
Yes.
Oh, hi. This is Jane Lockard Clawson. She is the director of United Way. Hello, Jane. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
We are so delighted to have you. Can you tell us the role that the United Way is playing in Indiana County and how it is helping people that are disadvantaged or have any type of financial or family issues?
Well, we've had a lot of things going on since this whole COVID pandemic. When this all first started to roll out and the schools were closing, I was having several conversations with ICAP, and she was telling me that the schools we're asking them left and right, what can you do to help? So we ended up pulling a large group, including all the schools, all 7 school districts, and a group of community members. Jenny Rary, who's on here, was one of them, a number of the nonprofit organizations and other community members. And we really sat down and talked about, what do the schools need? Do they know what resources there are in Indiana County that can help them if they need it? And of course, this was all new to them as well. So I think it was a very productive meeting, resulted next in making sure that the schools got what they needed. People came forth and said, I have volunteers, I have transportation, I'll donate a vehicle if you need it to make sure that you can get these meals delivered. So that kind of got situated. We moved from there into talking about the emergency food boxes because, again, Salvation Army, Chevy Chase, the ICAP Food Bank, they were all getting a lot of requests for emergency food boxes. And, not knowing how much is going to go around, they decided that they would coordinate and have all of those central applications go through ICAP for that. So they're kind of handling that as well. We moved from there, though, into something that's a bigger and broader project. And it really came from actually 2017 through the Health and Human Services Subcommittee from Emergency Management Agency. Back then, we were having the flooding issues. And we decided at the time that Indiana County needed a local process that we could solicit, collect donations, and distribute them to people who were victims of a disaster, like at the time, the flooding. Of course, we weren't thinking that this was going to happen in a pandemic where nobody was allowed to leave their house and we couldn't do face-to-face assessments with people and see situations and that sort of thing. So we got our little collaborative together. It's the Health and Human Services Subcommittee, it's ICAP, it's the Department of Human Services that oversees Project Share and the United Way, and put together this plan. Basically what it is it's a fund. United Way put $53,000 in it to get it started. We're soliciting donations into that, and it's designed so that individuals who have lost employment as a result of this COVID pandemic can seek some additional financial support. It's small amounts. It's not a lot, but we don't know how large our fund will get, and we want to try to reach as many people as we can. So if it's an individual household, the allocation is going to be $200. If it's a multi-family or a multi-person household, it'll be $400. We're trying to keep it simple and streamlined. Proof that you've lost your employment, proof that you're over 18 and how many people are in your household. And it's not an income qualifier. If you've lost your income, you're all in the same boat. Although we do anticipate that people who really are the ones that are in need are the ones that they're going to be coming. I don't know if you know this, but 44% of the people, this is prior to the pandemic, 44% of people who live in Indiana County are living at or below the minimum household survival budget. And that's kind of a scary thought when you think it's pretty close to 50% before all this happened. One emergency at the time, a car breaks down, a hot water furnace breaks down. One emergency at the time was going to throw people over the edge. Now, these individuals are people who are working, sometimes 2 jobs at a time, and now they're not working at all. So we've got a huge, not only group of people already, but we're expecting a huge influx of people who are going to be looking for support no matter where they can go. Our applications, I think you saw it on the screen there, the applications are on the United Way website. which is uwindianacounty.org. You can go right onto there, click where it says application and complete it. Upload a copy of your driver's license and something that indicates your employment prior to your loss. And then it will go directly to ICAP. ICAP's the one that's processing these. So they're looking at it, they're determining whether they meet all the eligibility requirements, and then they'll make the disbursements. So United Way is the fiscal agent for this. So we're taking the donations in, and then we'll be paying ICAP, who will then disperse it. And it's intended for things that are going to fill the gap. So whether it's a utility payment, whether it's rent or mortgage, whether it's food, if you need additional food, car payments, everybody's situation is going to be different. And we want people to be able to make those decisions for themselves where they most need that little bit of extra help. And like I said, it's not a lot, but we want to try to reach as many people throughout the entire county as we can. So like I said, you can go right onto our website and you can look under COVID, you can get the application there. We've also had a lot of people who have been saying to us, how can I help? So we're saying to them, look, there's this emergency relief fund. There's a lot of ways you can help. If you don't have the funds to help at this point, but you just want to, you can be a volunteer. And I know Jenny will talk about that a little bit. You can be a volunteer helping to deliver food or helping to prepare or package the foods. Check on your neighbors and your relatives. Give them a call. Make sure they're okay. Just be a friend to them. And if you have the means and you're desiring to do so, certainly please take a look at our website again and make a donation into the emergency fund. We've opened this fund up just a few days ago, and we've already had $7,600 in donations over and above our $50,000 that United Way put in. I think that's a strong testimony to this county comes together, and they support each other, and they find a way to help each other when they need it.
The program seems like a big help for people that are in the gap, like you're saying. Some people are unemployed, and we know that because of the backlog that we're having to experience right now with the unemployment system, there are people who have told me that they've put their applications in for unemployment. However, they haven't heard back, or they're saying it's 2 to 3 weeks before they get their first disbursement for that. Also,
yeah.
The stimulus checks are coming, but they're 2 or 3 weeks away. And so that's a wonderful way, as you said, to close the gap during that period of time. Do you have other programs that you're offering, or I know that you are an umbrella group for other programs. Are you seeing, or do you have other means of help through United Way as well?
Well, we're continuing to support our 15 partner agencies. Most of them, I'd say about half of them are still providing the services that they operate. The Open Door is still needed. Their services for those in an opioid addiction, Alice Paul House for those with domestic violence. There's a lot of services that are still needed. Now, we have the other 50% probably that right now are on temporary hold. One of the roles of the United Way is to bring people together and to help problem solve. And there's a lot of collaboration that happens in this county that a lot of people just don't even really realize it because it's behind the scenes. And what we're trying to do is to say, when there's a need that's there, let's pull these people together. Let's get them on the phone and let's talk about what are ways that we can solve that. And so, right now, one of our biggest things is, like I said, trying to reach out and reach those individuals who maybe need that little bit of extra support, maybe to put that finger in the dike, if you will, just to kind of plug some of those holes in the interim to provide some relief.
Now, is the United now or other agencies, you Umbrella, are they seeing an increase in services? Are you seeing a different group of people than you regularly see? What does your clientele look like now, or clientele that you might expect in the future?
Well, COVID doesn't discriminate against whether you have a disability or whether you're older or younger. It's similar to some of the kinds of services that we fund on a regular basis. I just think we're going to start to see more and more of the need all the way around. 44% of the people in the county that are living right on that cusp. We're going to see a whole lot more, not only now during just this particular initiative that we're doing, but as we go into the next campaign year, the year after that, there's going to be a long-term residual effect of that. And the ability to try to support that in terms of raising money and turning it back out into the community is a frightening thing, because the need is definitely there. The need is going to continue to grow. And we have to figure out some unique ways to draw that in and support that.
Which was bringing me to my next question. I know that right now there is like extra money for people with unemployment, the extra $600 a week, but it only runs through the end of July. The stimulus check is like a one, you get it one check and then that's done. But from what we're hearing on the news and from the CDC, it seems as though it's going to be a slow rollout as far as how businesses are going to open. And once they are open, they're talking about in the fall maybe seeing a resurgence of some sort. Some businesses open and close again and open. And so, as you were saying, there is going to be a time period where the services that we see now may be needed even more in the future. And I'm just wondering, how is United Way and some of your partnering organizations trying to deal with what you think might be some of your challenges in the future?
Well, I haven't had a chance to talk with all of them because not all of them are available to speak to. But, I think that they all try to work on some business practices of having some reserves, and that's only going to go so far. I'm thinking of a number of them actually have some grants or contracts with the state. I'm not sure how that's going to continue. I think that everybody's going to end up being in the same boat. I think that we're really going to have to pool our resources. We're going to have to look at, what those funds are being used for. Can those partner agencies to really take a look at that and decide areas within those particular programs that they can do without, so that they can channel those funds to the most important direct service components of what they do. We're all going to have to tighten our bootstraps with that kind of thinking. What can we live without? What can we live without for some time? Because there's only going to be so much money to go around. And I hope that the Indiana community still sees that our needs are not going to go away. They're going to only get worse as we go into the next year. And I am concerned about, we rely a lot on workplace campaigns. We rely a lot on corporate level supports, and it's not going to be there. So we're going to have to all be in communication with each other and really do some planning. I don't have all the answers right now, unfortunately.
Yeah. So in our closing, is there anything that you would like to, information you'd like to get out to the public, ways that they can donate, ways that they can support the United?
I've lost some of the sound on that, but I caught the beginning part of the question about additional ways to support.
Or volunteer.
Yeah, like I said, the emergency relief fund is the immediate and the pressing thing, and that can be found either donating on our Facebook page, on our website. I'm a proponent of, if people are going to donate where your heart is. If it feels like donating it to the United Way, that can disperse it in what our group of community volunteers feel is the best way to spend that, then certainly by all means do that. If your heart's in, helping the food bank and making sure that they have what they need, and Chevy Chase or the Salvation Army or, Alice Paul House or any of those organizations, that's one of the values that I have from where I sit, is that I can see a lot of things that happen that are out there that are all good causes. And I don't see us as competing. When I ask people to donate to the United Way, I'm not looking for them to donate to my program. I'm looking for them to donate to support our community. And that's the biggest thing we have to think about, is how do we strengthen the health, education, and financial stability of our entire county?
Well, thank you so
One
much.
other
for
thing,
this. Oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Go
one
ahead.
other thing, if I could just kind of make one other mention. You know, I know that everybody's been seeing tons and tons of things about the census, and I can't emphasize enough how important that is for people to complete that, because that's how our county gets funding from the state and federal government that we need. And that decision will be for the next 10 years. So it is so important that we influence all of our clients, our consumers, our customers, whatever anybody calls them, to complete that census, because it is just so important that it's tied to money.
And I know I filled out my census online. It doesn't take very long.
No, it doesn't.
I did it right on my phone. I didn't have to get on a computer. I did it right on my smartphone and sent the information in. It's really quick and it's really easy. And as you said, if they don't know the population and things of that nature, money does not come. So it's really important. Thank you for bringing that up for everyone to get online and fill out your census information so that Indiana County can get the help that it needs from the government. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here. Appreciate all the hard effort that yourself and your partner organizations are doing to support the community, just not now in COVID, but the continual work that you do, that you have done, and that what we know that you're going to do in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, take care.
You too.